Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball, HTB. Hope all is well. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Appreciate it very much. Look, if you're new, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I post out regular rugby league content, Warriors content, and all things rugby league. But look, in saying that, without further ado, I've got a ball to catch. BRB. Alright, so this is NRL Round 24, and I'll be doing tips here. Look, I've called this the Math Round Part 2. I called it last week, and in saying that a lot has transpired, and as we look into this round here, a lot is transpiring right now. We've got some key sort of ins, key sort of outs, some potential upsets on the card, and I guess just my all-around thoughts. And on top of that as well, obviously an HTB guarantee. So let's get into it. Game 1 sees the Knights, who are placed at 7th, against the Titans, who are 9th. I've called this game a long drop from here, particularly for the Titans. If they lose, I think it's season's over, so we'll see what happens there. The Knights, they've got Frizzell, who is in, as well as Clemmer, who is out. And then Titans, they have Rain at hooker, as well as Fotueka at 16. And the only out there is Ash Taylor. The key ins are Ponga, as well as Pierce, obviously, and you've got Clifford for the halves there, and then Frizzell as well as Watson, just to see what Watson can do. But I think it's going to be really important to see how they sort of defend. And then for the Titans, I've got Kelly, Peachy, and Fasua Maliawi, as well as Fifita and Fotueka. Again, what they do, as well as Proctor, all depends there. How desperate are they? We're going to be seeing that. Look, in saying that, obviously, I've got a sort of tip here. For me personally, I think I'm going to be going... I think I'll go with Titans here for the upset. You heard it here. Titans for the upset for me. Game 2, we have the Warriors who host the Raiders. Now, I will be showing a preview video very soon on that, so please feel free to check that out, and you guys can make up your mind. That's more in-depth, as well as just my overall analysis on the game itself. So, yeah, stay tuned for that one. Game 3 sees the Roosters against the Rabbitohs, right? Roosters are 4th, Rabbitohs are 3rd. I've called this game Sydney in 4. For obvious reason. We've got Marsh as well as White coming in for the Roosters. Key outs are Copley, Butcher as well as Kieran. And then for the Rabbitohs, you've got Bolo as well as Su'a, who make a return, respectively wing as well as second row. And then Mansour and Koloa Matangi, who are out for the Rabbitohs. Key players to look out for Roosters are Tedesco, Jared Wairea-Hargreave as well as Tauke Aho, Walker, Tupou Niua. And then for the Rabbitohs, I have Mitchell. I've got the halves, obviously. You know, it's going to be very vital there. As well as Cook. And then I've got Arrow and Murray to make some noise there. This is going to be a very heavy battle, particularly in the forward pack here. I do see a very tight, grinding game. In saying that, obviously, you've got to pick a winner here. Look, this might be crazy, but I think I'm going to tip the Roosters here for the win. And I don't think it'll be an upset. Food for thought. Game 4 sees the Dragons, who are 12th, against the Cowboys, who are 15th, in a game that I've called no fan fiction story here. We've all read those Cowboys and Dragon stories growing up. While this one here, not too pretty, not as interesting, and unfortunately, just given the context of both teams, probably is going to be a long way reaching that 8th spot or 7th spot for either team. Laurie and Prop and Lussick from the Roosters make a come in. Lussick being on loan. And then for the Cowboys, we've got Taumalolo back, their captain at Prop. Neem, Felt, as well as Taulangi. Dufty is out for the Dragons. And then Cowboys, they've got Hess as well as Lemuelu, who are key outs there. The key players to look out for. You've got Bird as well as Armone, and I've been a big fan of him personally, as well as Sims. And then for the Cowboys, you've got Tabuai Fido at fullback. You've got Fout as well as Jason Taumalolo and Neem. Now, Jason Taumalolo playing at prop is going to be interesting. Neem, look out for him. I've got big raps on this young man here. I think he's got a really big career ahead of him. But in saying that, obviously, you've got to guess the winner here. Man, Cowboys hasn't been good for them at all. Unfortunately, I think the Dragons probably just do enough to win this game here, so that's why I'm going to go with Dragons there for the win. Game 5 sees the Sharks against the Broncos. I've called this game Shuck Up, Buck Up. Why not? The ins are Hiroti at wing, as well as Tolman, 16, and then for the Broncos, virtually unchanged. Now, for the Sharks as well, obviously Mulitalo being the key out. The key players I've got here, you've got Kennedy at fullback, Katoa as well as Rudolph at prop. And then for the Broncos, obviously you've got New, Haas as well as the halves. It's going to be interesting to see how they go again. Can they do it again like they did last week? Now, for this game here, obviously, I think it's going to be heavy in terms of the battling up front in the forward pack. Broncos as well, obviously, coming off a good win. Sharks too as well. I think it's going to be very dominant up front. We'll see how we go. In terms of the backs, anything can happen there. But for me personally, I'm looking for the front row battle. I'm going to be tipping... Look, I'm going to be tipping the Sharks here to win. I think there's a lot on the line here for them, so they'll do the job. Game 6 sees the Storm against the Eels in a game I've called Storm in the River. That's where you find Eels mostly. Storm are first, Eels are sixth. The key players that are back in are Smith, Jeremiah, Olam as well as Hughes. And then for the Eels, you have Ferguson as well as Hipgrave. Jennings being a key out for the Storm. Sivo being a key out for the Eels here. Look, in players to look out for, you got Welch, Smith, Hughes, Josh Adokar as well as Pappenhuisen for the Storm. And then for the Eels, I have Ferguson, Papali'i as well as Makatoa. Now, in saying that, the Storm are back now. They're stronger. They've got a very strong side and a strong team. And they're basically full strength. The Eels, well, yeah, it's been an up and down season, hasn't it? Look, it's going to be a tough game here for either team. Obviously, the Eels did beat them the first time round. But in saying that, I think it's a different story here. Eels for me. Second to last game sees Manly, who are 5th, against the Bulldogs, who are 16th, in a game I've called The End. I think this probably tells it. I think the story here probably says it itself. Key ins are Tom Trbojevic as well as Brad Parker, who is back. Bulldogs have Wakeham, Bartolo, Hetherington, Ogden as well as Katoa. Look, in saying that, obviously, we're going to look at the keys here. Tom Trbojevic, you've got the halves as well. DCE foreign, you've got Saab, Schuster, Olokawatu, Parker, Tapau, Garrick, Parker. I mean, look, the list goes on and on and on. And for the Bulldogs, you've got Flanagan at halfback, beyond the Otto hooker, who I've been impressed with, as well as Hellering making his return. Look, this game here, I think it's going to be simple, set and cut. For me personally, Manly by a lot. I'll be very surprised if Bulldogs can squeeze in at least 2 to 3 tries, but that's my prediction there. And the last game sees the Penrith Panthers against the Tigers. Penrith were 2nd, Tigers were 13th, in a game that I've called Feline Decline. And for obvious reason, the Tigers, well, you know, it unfortunately doesn't end well. Tales from Tiger Town is probably where this sort of ends, and not in a good way either. So the ins are To'o as well as James Fisher-Harris. The key outs as well for the Panthers are Naden as well as Eisenhuth. And then for the Tigers, who are the key ins is Little, Seifaf, Mikaele as well as Madden. And the key outs are Dewey as well as Tuilangi. So Dewey out with a injury. Key ins, key players to look out for. To'o, you got the halves, right? It's going to be interesting. And then James Fisher-Harris, TPJ, Tito Pangai Jr., as well as Burton over at centres. And then for the Tigers, I've got Taumalolo wing, Utoi Kamanu, Twal, as well as Leilua. Look, in saying that, this is going to be the first time the Penrith Panthers have been at full strength in quite some time. I believe it's nearly close to 2 months. They're going to be ready. They're going to be ready to go. For me personally, I want to tip the Penrith Panthers here. There's no reason as to why I shouldn't. But yeah, those are my thoughts there. But yeah, that does it for me personally. Those are my tips there. Again, tell me what you guys think. Good luck to your teams playing. We're going to see what happens there. But look, yeah, before I go, we all know there's an HTB guarantee. So let's hear it. The HTB guarantee is Roosters. Roosters beat the Rabbitohs. That's a brave one there. But that's my HTB guarantee. In saying that, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks again for sticking this long. If you like the puns, give me a like. If you think your team's going to win, give me a like. If you're new, give me a like. But in saying that, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time. And if your team wants to win, what do they have to do? Hold the ball. See you guys next time. Take it easy.